bank statement trembled in my hands, each line a fresh stab to the heart. $20,000 gone, siphoned away like water through a cracked pipe. My husband, Tom, sat across from me, claiming he didn't know how it happened. But the lie was written all over his guilty face. I'm Sarah, a 34-year-old nurse who'd been pulling double shifts for years to keep us afloat. Tom lost his job 2 years ago, and I didn't mind carrying the load. Love makes you do that. We'd been married 5 years, built a life in our cozy Denver apartment, dreaming of a future with kids and a little house by the mountains. I thought we were a team. I thought wrong. It started with small things. A missed bill here, a vague excuse there. Tom was always home, supposedly looking for work, but the job applications never materialized. Instead, he'd be on his phone, texting, laughing, promising me he was handling things. I trusted him. Why wouldn't I? He was my husband, my partner, the man who'd vowed to stand by me. But trust is a fragile thing, and mine started cracking 6 months ago when I noticed our savings dwindling. I'd come home exhausted, my scrubs still smelling of antiseptic, and find Tom playing video games or napping. Any luck with jobs today, I'd ask, forcing a smile. Yeah, sent out a few resumes, he'd mumble, eyes glued to the screen. I believed him at first. I wanted to, but the bank account kept shrinking, and my gut screamed something was off. I ignored it, chalking it up to stress. Nurses don't get to rest, and I was too tired to play detective. Then came the day I couldn't ignore it anymore. I was balancing our checkbook after a 12-hour shift, my eyes burning from lack of sleep. The numbers didn't add up. Withdrawals I didn't recognize: $500, $1,000, $2,000 spread across months, all transferred to an account I didn't know. My heart sank as I dug deeper, pulling up statements from the past year. The total $20,000, funneled out in sneaky increments, like a thief in the night. My money, our money, the money I'd earned scrubbing bedpans and holding hands with dying patients. Tom, I shouted, my voice echoing through the apartment. He shuffled in, rubbing his eyes like he'd just woken up. What's wrong? Babe, he asked, all innocent. I shoved the statements in his face. Explain this. Now. His eyes darted to the papers, then away. I don't know what that is, he stammered. That's when I knew. The man I loved was lying to me. I pressed him, my voice shaking with rage. Don't lie to me, Tom. Where's the money? He squirmed, mumbling about mistakes and bank errors. But I wasn't buying it. I logged into our joint account, something I hadn't done in months because I trusted him to handle it. There it was, transfer after transfer to an account registered to his mother's name. His mother, who lived in a sprawling house in Florida, who called Tom her baby boy and never liked me. His mother, who apparently needed my money more than we did. Tom, you've been sending my money to your family, I asked, my voice low. Dangerous. He looked at the floor, his silence louder than any confession. They needed help, he finally muttered. Mom's house was going into foreclosure, and my sister's kid needed surgery. I didn't want to worry you. Worry me, I was livid. You stole from us, from me. I've been killing myself at work, and you're playing Robin Hood with my paycheck. The argument escalated fast. Tom tried to turn it around, saying I was selfish for not understanding his family's needs. Selfish, I'd given up vacations, new clothes, even my own health to keep us afloat. I'd skipped meals to save money while he sent thousands to his mother, who'd never once thanked me for anything. I felt like a fool, betrayed by the one person I thought had my back. The next day, I called his mother. I needed answers. Oh, Sarah, thank you for helping us out, she cooed, oblivious to the storm brewing. Tom said you were happy to contribute. My blood boiled, happy I hadn't even known. She went on about how the money saved her house and paid for her grandson's medical bills. I didn't begrudge them help, but the deceit, the assumption that my hard work was theirs to take cut deep. I confronted Tom again that night. You told your mom I agreed to this. You lied to her too. His face crumpled. But instead of owning up, he doubled down. You're overreacting. Sarah, family helps family. You'd understand if you cared about anyone but yourself. That was the moment something in me snapped. I wasn't just fighting about money anymore. I was fighting for my dignity, my trust, my entire life. I started digging deeper, and the truth got uglier. Tom hadn't just sent money to his family. He'd been hiding other things, late-night calls with his ex, secret credit card debt, even a gambling app on his phone with hundreds of dollars in transactions. Each discovery was a fresh wound, proof that the man I married was a stranger. I felt like I was drowning in his lies, each one pulling me under while he stood there, shrugging, acting like I was the problem. The breaking point came a week later. I'd taken a rare day off to sort through our finances, determined to take control. I found an email from Tom's sister, thanking him for another $5,000 for her new car. A new car. While I was driving a 15-year-old Honda with a busted AC, I printed the email and taped it to the fridge. A silent declaration of war. When Tom got home, he saw it and froze. "Sarah, I can explain." He started, but I cut him off. "No more lies. Get out." He begged, tears in his eyes, promising to change, to get a job, to make it right. But I was done. Done with his excuses, his betrayal, his utter disregard for everything I'd sacrificed. I packed his bags and pointed to the door. "You chose your family over me," I said, my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. "Now you can go live with them." Tom left, and the apartment felt eerily quiet. I sat on the couch, staring at the bank statements, the weight of his betrayal sinking in. But something else stirred in me relief. I was free. Free from carrying a man who'd taken me for granted, who'd stolen not just my money but my trust. I called a lawyer the next day. Divorce papers were filed, and I froze our joint accounts. His mother called, outraged, demanding I stop being so selfish. I hung up, her voice echoing in my head but no longer holding power over me. The weeks that followed were hard but liberating. I worked with a financial advisor to rebuild my savings, took on fewer shifts, and started therapy to process the betrayal. Friends rallied around me, reminding me I was more than Tom's wife, more than a paycheck. I even started painting again, a hobby I'd abandoned when life got too heavy. Each brushstroke felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. Tom, meanwhile, spiraled. His family couldn't support him the way I had. His mother's house went into foreclosure anyway, turns out. She'd been blowing the money on vacations, not bills. His sister cut him off when the cash dried up. He tried calling me, leaving voicemails about how sorry he was, how he'd messed up. I didn't answer. Justice wasn't me screaming or him groveling. It was him facing the consequences of his choices. Months later, I heard through a mutual friend that Tom was crashing on a cousin's couch, jobless and broke. Part of me felt a pang of pity, but it was fleeting. He'd made his bed, and I wasn't going to lie in it with him. I was too busy rebuilding my life, rediscovering my strength, and learning to trust again not in others, but in myself. Looking back, I see now how Tom's lies exposed a truth I'd ignored. I deserved better. I'd spent years pouring my energy into someone who didn't value it, but that ended the moment I chose myself. The scars are still there, but they're proof I survived. I'm not just Sarah, the nurse who got betrayed. I'm Sarah, the woman who took her life back. What do you think? Did I do the right thing by cutting Tom off? Or should I have given him another chance? Share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your perspective on where the line between forgiveness and self-respect lies.